Hello everyone and welcome to PAX. I'm Alicifer and I am joined by Travis. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Have you been in Australia before?
No, this is actually my first time in Australia, so I'm really liking it. I mean, I was in Sydney right before this, so I've gotten to experience both Sydney and Melbourne. Everybody wanted me to go to like Brisbane, Perth, all these random places. Unfortunately, just these two cities, but really enjoying it.
Is this the first PAX that you've been to, or have you been to other?
So this is my first PAX Australia. I didn't make it to last year's, which I believe was the first. I have actually been to PAX Prime probably 3 or 4 times now, and then also went to PAX East earlier this year. So it's still like a PAX, but it's obviously got the Australian feel, and I kind of like it. It feels like kind of everybody knows everyone because it's a little bit of a more tight-knit community. So really enjoying it. Yeah.
You are one of the hosts in NA, correct?
Yeah. Interviewer, host, esports journalist, whatever. People call me all sorts of stuff.
Beautiful. So how do you feel like this event kind of situates between NA and OC? Are we still very new compared to everywhere else, or?
Yeah, the best way I can describe it right now is that it feels very much like a sort of like a season 2 event. Like the stage setup and everything is very much like IPL actually. From what I think, looking back, it's really nice to sort of see this again. There's a lot of stuff that we gained while we grew up, but there's also some of that sort of like young grassroots feel that I think we lost in the process. So it's really cool to see that here. I think, you know, Australia's on its path, Oceania is on its path to getting to where NA is now and EU is. So it's kind of neat to check in and sort of see this checkpoint as you guys continue to grow.
Have you been watching the games? How do you feel like we kind of stand up against the rest of the world as far as competitive play and also atmospheric? You
guys, I think the best description I've heard so far is that you guys are kind of like a mini China or like an early China. Very aggressive, very just like team fight. There's not as much the like complex strategy I think that we tend to see out of like a Korean team or something like that, but very entertaining, very fun. I think that if it got to the point where the teams had the opportunity to, you know, get into gaming houses and really take it serious and maybe not so much as a hobby, I think we get to see even more competitive play out of Oceania. I think just one of the things I found is that the players are really polite and nice. Specifically, I've had a chance to hang out with the Chiefs a bit, talk to a couple of the guys on other teams, and just been, it's just, everybody is, you know, I love the North American, European teams, but I think at a certain point they deserve to have the ego that they have, but they all kind of have an ego. Whereas like where I was sitting up for an interview just now with Spooks, and he was like, can I help you with anything? Like, thank you so much for the interview, etc. Whereas the pro players in North America are like, come on, let's get this going. I've got something to do, you know? And I understand it's just a very different situation for those guys, but it's been very fun to just be down here and meet people that are, you know, still treating it as like a hobby, so it's kind of neat.
Now, do you have any sort of like advice that you might give the scene to help grow? You've mentioned gaming houses and stuff like that, but more like maybe publicity, get our players more known. Do you have anything more like that?
I think a lot of it is just the branding side hasn't really come in yet. Like I know that some of the guys are starting to try to do that, but like I heard recently that a couple of the players like change their name all the time, like pick a name, stick to it. You know, like really content, like the stuff that you guys create and some of the other wonderful content creators I've met in Australia and Oceania. That stuff really helps out a lot. So, you know, stuff like podcasts and that kind of thing, sort of the same way that the NA scene got kickstarted and came into its own like at the start of season 2. I think a lot of that stuff is a lot of things that the Oceanic players, teams, and organizations could look at to try to catch up to the rest of the world in terms of like popularity and you know, the renown that some of these other guys have.
Are you going to do anything after PAX? Are you going to stick around in Australia for a little bit, go some sightseeing maybe?
Well, Sydney, I was able to check out a lot of that. Melbourne, unfortunately, my time is a little shorter. I am leaving on Tuesday instead of Monday tomorrow, so I'm able to spend a full day, I think, in the city. I've been told to try coffee, which is apparently a big thing here. And hopefully I get to go out a little bit tonight after the games, maybe with some of the players, and take a little bit of that Melbourne nightlife that I've heard some good things about. So hopefully I'll be able to get a pretty good feel for the city and add that to my growing knowledge base of what Australia is.
Well, that's excellent. We're very happy to have had you here, and hopefully we'll have you here again. It's been a pleasure. I'm Alicifer, and this is Travis Gafford. Thank you very much.
And make sure that you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel as we bring you more coverage from PAX Australia. But till then, I'll see you at egamingnetwork.com.